All right, I am live. Welcome, everybody. This is our first live concert since March 2020. And I'm so happy when we decided to move this one inside. We thought, okay, will anybody come? So very happy to see everybody. And hello to the people that are online. And this is why we moved the church. Usually we're down at the UU church, down on Main Street. But because we knew there was some people that still wanted to be able to stream, and it's been fun getting checks from like Illinois and Maryland. So that's been actually fun. And so hello to all those people that are still there. But we couldn't do it from the UU, so when I called Reverend Glenn, he said, sure, you can come here. They weren't using it tonight, so they've been very accommodating, and we were able to be here. So thank you to the Wakefield Linfield Methodist Church. And now that was the good news. And the bad news is you can see that we have Cosy here with her two guys, but we don't have Sloan, because Sloan last week came down with COVID. Yeah, we're very disappointed because that was going to be her first time in Wakefield. But we will rebook her at some point. That will be good. But meanwhile, Cosy was originally going to be for our May show, and this is our last show of our 37th season, and we will be starting up the next one on September 24th. We'll have a bunch of surprises for that, and hopefully we will have one concert on the Common this summer, and we will announce that when we figure it out. But we've been so nervous about, well, can we have it? No, yes and no. So we haven't really finalized that, but we will. So, we're happy that you're here, and we're happy that Cosy is back again, and she brought with her Charlie and Kent, and that's a nice thing to have. Because we've had Cosy a lot of times at UU and at Linden Tree, and we're always happy to have her. And I know a lot of you have been watching her Tuesday morning. Gives us little snippets. She does just this little short show. So now we get her for 2 whole sets. So that is exciting. And I know she has some new CDs in the back that I haven't seen, because a lot of them are new for the last 2 years since I last saw you, so that will be good. And instead of me talking, welcome everybody. Welcome back to Wakefield, and I'm out of here.
That's better, thanks.
Hi, everybody. So Eddie, you're gonna bring this back? Yeah. Thanks for coming. All you gotta do is be happy. Happy's gonna get you by. And better not to make it a project. Happy isn't something you try. All you gotta know is it'll come and go, and it wasn't designed to stay. All you gotta do is be happy, just some part of your day. All you gotta do is be happy with the moment as it arrives. Happy isn't looking for a medal, he's just happy to be alive. Don't hold too tight, that's not what he likes, and then he gets hard to find. And happy doesn't really like Mondays, but he's trying to change his mind. He's gonna hang around and putter out in the yard. He's gonna let you down if you expect him to work too hard. Happy, it's kinda like breathing, and it's kinda like a Gordian knot. If all you wanna do is be happy, pretty soon you're not. Take it, Kent. If all you want to do is be happy, pretty soon you're not. Oh, all you gotta do is be happy. Happy is gonna get you by. Better not to make it a project, 'cause happy isn't something you try. Oh, all you gotta know is it'll come and go. Join me, Charlie. I wasn't about to stay. All you gotta do is be happy, just some part of your day. Oh, all you gotta do is be happy, just some part of your day. Oh, nice, Kate. Last minute we decided to start with that one because it was so fun. Because, like, you haven't been to a live show in 2 years. But for a few shows last summer, we haven't done a live show in 2 years. So we're remembering it as you are, how it works. Kent and I were talking about, what do you say in between the songs? You can bring this down now. So I'd like to introduce Kent Allyn on my left, your right. Kent and I have been playing music together since 1988 when he played on my first CD. He gave me my best ever musical compliment. He called me a musical sponge. You know, I think you can bring that down a bit, Eddie. That's still pretty big in the monitor, at least. On my right, your left, my husband, Charlie Koch. A man who was on muscle relaxants until early this morning. This is dedicated to the white wicker chair I found on the street during a free sale in Maynard, Massachusetts in 2013. I am a scavenger, I've always been that way. I keep my eyes on the ground, you won't believe what I found. A white wicker chair and my bedside table left out on the curb with a sign that says free. A scavenger, 'cause stuff gets left behind. I got my cheese grater and my waffle iron and these cast-off creatures, orphaned objects left at the side of the road. I am amazed at the wealth in the world nobody wants anymore. I found a sweet old cat, he was hungry and homeless. He just wanted to come indoors. And I keep what I find and I squirrel it away. The winter's coming and it's usually hard. So when the sign says free, it's difficult for me not to let it come live in my yard. We'll do it again, Jen. I am a scavenger, 'cause I know how it feels to be the thing in the box, left out on the curb and then found by someone who doesn't care if you're new. That's how you found me, and that's how I found you. Some people don't get it. They want new and shiny and still in the cellophane. So they pass right by all these beautiful broken in things left out in the rain. I am a scavenger, I've always been that way. I keep my eyes on the ground, you won't believe what I found. The wealth of the world left out on the curb with a sign that says free. Thank you. Hey, Eddie, can you bring my voice back just a little bit? At least in the monitor here.
It's very true. Whenever we pass by stuff out on the road, I try to get her to look. I try to point out something on the other side of the road.
I recently put something back out on the road, though.
You know what I'm talking about, right?
I recently put something back on the road.
I don't hear any defenses.
I put the red wagon that I told Kent all about, I put it back on the road.
Oh, no, you don't have the wagon?
I put it back on the road, it disappeared immediately. It was a great red wagon. It was one that had extra little slats on the sides, one made of wood. It was like probably 1955. a beautiful piece, but we have too many things. So I put it in the road, and somebody wanted it. So.
Tell them what you're using.
She was gonna, convinced it was gonna revolutionize the hauling of the wood.
It's how I got the wood in. It did. I think I took some photos. Yeah.
So she'd get the wood to the front door, and then she'd take the little red wagon and load it up with wood, and haul it across the rest of the house to the wood stove.
That way you don't have to take your shoes off each time. You just put the wood in, and then you take your shoes off once, and you bring it in. So, can I have a little more guitar, Eddie, too? I apologize. Can we have a hand for Eddie, Mr. Patience in the corner? Definitely use some more guitar coming back at me. That's probably the pickup. Can I have the mic? Yeah, great. Thank you. I wrote this song after going to Rome twice. And I wrote this song about this thing that I was certain I had seen in Rome. I was certain I had seen some gargoyle, and I was certain I knew exactly where it was, and I was certain I would go back and see it. And so I wrote a song all about it. And I thought, well, maybe it's some sort of angel that I saw in some church. So I go back to Rome a third time. I look everywhere. I go to every museum I've been to before. I take all the same tours. I came back and discovered that, no, I did not find it in Rome. I saw it on television, in a television program. But that wouldn't be anywhere near as romantic, tell you that. So we'll both remember that when I wrote the song, I was under the impression that I had seen the thing in real life. When I dream of angels, mine are made of stone. The way up high, they do not fly. They stand on the rooftops in Rome. They watch over their city with cracked and broken wings. Gravity bound and a little rundown like any true lasting thing. In paradise, the stories say nothing is faded or old. It's shiny and bright, everything is all right. The streets are made of silver and gold. And the angels there look like nothing on earth that I have ever known. I prefer mine to have seen hard times like the angels in Rome. Do you like forever in your movies and your books? We went to Rome one summer to see how forever looks. It looks worn out and tired with heartbreak carved in stone. If it's always been here, if it won't disappear, then it looks like the angels in Rome. And I dream of angels. They have cracked and broken wings. They are gravity bound and a little run down, but a true lasting thing. I dream of angels and mine are made of stone. They're way up high, they do not fly. They stand on the rooftops in Rome. Thanks, Ken. Nice job, boys. This is really fun. Thanks for coming. If you didn't come, it would have been a very different experience, so we're very glad you're here.
Personally, I find that song extremely reassuring.
Bless Charlie's heart, I love him. Oh, during the pandemic, I and many of my friends decided we would stop coloring our hair, so now I am delighted to not have to spend $200 every 6 weeks. And Charlie has got his ears out. I tucked him into the hat.
Oh my God, I'm sorry, my ears are out.
speaking of hair, this song was written after trying to find a place to get my hair cut in Cambridge when we lived in Maynard. I borrowed Charlie's little red car, his little red Audi that was a stick shift, and I hadn't driven a stick shift since I had a 1988 Toyota pickup that I had sold sometime in the 90s in Utah. But I needed somewhere to get my hair cut, and I didn't own a cell phone yet, so I had an address on a piece of paper that was somewhere I had found in Cambridge, and by the way, I never got there. But I did have the piece of paper next to me on the seat. You know, when you look down while you're driving, things happen. And I was driving Charlie's little red stick shift car, and mind you, I hadn't driven a stick shift in 15 to 20 years, and I was having a very hard time distinguishing the difference between second, first, and third gear. I wasn't starting always as quickly as I'd hoped, and I was having to ride the clutch more than Charlie would have liked. And I was discovering that unlike in Utah, where Brigham Young decreed that every road must be wide enough so you can make a U-turn with a cart and 4 oxen, no one decreed that in the streets of Cambridge, Massachusetts. And when you try to make a U-turn when you can't distinguish first from third gear in your car and it's a very narrow road, you often stall. And you are the salmon blocking the rest of them from getting upstream. And you might remember how Boston drivers feel about someone blocking their egress. Well, I've returned to the land where I was born, where the cautious driver is scorned, where they believe in the hand and in the horn. And if the social fabric gets torn, well, they got places to go and things to do that are on the other side of you. Important people coming through, and you're in their way. Welcome to Boston. Have a nice day. Oh, do that again, Ken. An occasional insult gets hurled when they are late for ruling the world. And you might think that you should go first, but the master of the universe is on the phone and on the wheel. He's closing in while he closes his deal. He is on task and you are in his way. Welcome to Boston, have a nice day. Welcome to Boston, have a nice day. They have a busy life planned. The reins are in their hand. And who's really happy? You know, life is just stress, and they have medication, so they don't need rest. They just need you to get out of their way. Welcome to Boston, have a nice day. Welcome to Boston, have a nice day. Awesome, Ken. Good job, Charlie. Nice job. So we tried out for the Tiny Desk concert, and we went to the studio, and we recorded some songs. Can you hear me when I bellow off the mic? Awesome. Okay, I can use awesome twice more, and then after that you have to start saying, new word, Cozy. I got very lazy during the pandemic, and I have one adjective and one adverb now.
That's lazy for Cozy, yeah. She doesn't do lazy.
So one day, during the pandemic, when Charlie and I had been each other's only social interaction for many months, you might recognize this as something that happened in your life as well. And it probably would have been one of those days when it would have been a good idea if we had a third person to interact with somehow in our lives. And we had a good-sized house at the time, and so Charlie went to one end of the house, and I went to the other. And I started writing this song. And I got 2 verses in, and then I started thinking about a chorus. So I walked downstairs holding the ukulele, because you can walk with a ukulele. It's awesome. And Charlie was in the kitchen making toast. He'd never heard this chorus before. I walk in singing it, and he turns around and he starts singing a harmony to it. It was was like a miraculous moment. What if it'll be okay? What if it works out right? What if there is a new day after this night? What if we turn the corner? What if we make it through? My world is warmer when my world has you. We fall, my friend. We fall, we get up again. I like stories once upon a time. I like when your hand reaches for mine. If we lean in where it hurts and lean into the mistake. If we lean in where we break. We fall, my friend. We fall, and we get up again. Forgive me, I'll forgive you. That's all we have to do. What if it'll be okay? What if it works out right? What if there is a new day after this night? We fall, my friend. We fall, we get up again. No, I won't. Yes, I will. Yes, I will. Change my mind. Just rearranged the set. Chris Bamer, if you'd like to come join us, we'd love to have you come join us. So this is going to be Chris Bamer's mic, and I think we're okay. I think it's been clean, but here we go. We're practicing just like the inauguration. Trying to keep everybody safe. Let's all say hello to Sloan Wainwright. She might be watching. Hi, Sloan.
I hope you're feeling better today.
She said she might be streaming. No, probably not. The landlord. Wow, that's probably too much. Sorry, Eddie. I should stop telling you what to do because you're getting there. I just look at your video. This is why Charlie says that I'm not good at relaxing. What do I want to tell you about this? Well, first I want to tell you that I spent years standing in a corner of bars playing Route 66, and the beginning of this song is actually the riff, and I stole it. When I had sort of lost my mind about the tenants who were renting my house in Moab, Utah, which I kept because when I met Charlie and I came to stay with him at his house, I thought, what if this doesn't work out? I might need to go back. So I kept the little house in Utah, and I rented it to, theoretically, 2 people. Remember that, 2 people. 6 months later, I come back, or maybe it was 6 weeks, I can't remember, but it was long enough for them to find 15 to 20 friends who appeared to be living in the house when I returned. And that's when I learned about the hive mentality of technical climbing. If you are a climber and you have a house in a town with nice climbing, you tell your friends. And we were house sitting across the street from the house that was mine, that was inhabited now by 15 to 17 people. And if I'd been somebody who was good at, what do you call it? Conflict, I would have gone across the street and I would have said, how many people actually live here and how many are just visiting on a long-term basis? But I'm not good at conflict. So instead, I sat across the street and I wrote this song. Here we go. go. Well, I am your landlord. I thought I'd drop by to see what you've done to the house. You know the coffee maker goes on the other side of the sink next to the toaster. What do you mean you don't have a toaster? What's wrong with you? And I am your landlord. I have firm ideas about what is clean, how it's next to godliness, and this house isn't going to heaven without bathroom. Let's just close the door. I thought they were just the two of you. I didn't know about your 15 friends who would come by to do their laundry every weekend. I am your landlord. Oh, tension with the tenants. I'm your landlord. Pay your rent with some repentance. I'm your landlord. Confrontation over the occupation of my house. And I am your landlord. I think some things are right and some are wrong. I don't think the kitchen is where the guest bed belongs. What's in the guest bedroom? Should we open that door? I know that you said that your sister, she is living out on the land. I think she and her dog are living in the driveway in that white camper van. I'm your landlord. Oh, tension with the tenants. I'm your landlord. Pay your rent with some repentance. I'm your landlord. Confrontation over the occupation of my house. Two of you, I didn't know about your 15 friends who would come by to do their laundry every weekend. I am your landlord. Oh, tension with the tenants. I'm your landlord. Pay your rent with some repentance. I'm your landlord. Confrontation over the occupation with your landlord. Do you ever draw your blinds? I'm your landlord. Just one more time. I'm your landlord. Confrontation over the occupation of my house.
Can we get a little more of Chris in the monitor, please?
Chris Bramer is one of my, what do we call it? Secret weapons. We used to go places to open mics, and I'd have Charlie and Chris with me, and I'd say, these are my secret weapons.
And she also provides us with ginger tea. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah,
I've earned my place.
We'd share it with you all, but we want to keep it. In the land of 10,000 mothers, every song is a lullaby, and nobody marches to war. No one stands in the airport and cries, and nobody dies on the highway with too many words left unsaid. In the land of 10,000 mothers, we all sleep safe in our beds. And in the land of 10,000 mothers, milk and honey flow without end, and nobody goes away wanting. You are welcome wherever you have been. You are welcome to lay your head down and get a kiss for every wound. 'Cause in the land of 10,000 mothers, you will get better soon. And you are welcome no matter what chases you, whatever road you chose through the wood. 'Cause in the land of 10,000 mothers, somebody loves you and knows you are good. Somebody loves you and knows you are good. Thank you, Chris Bamer. I assume Charlie can read my mind.
Never. Once in a while, actually.
So, let's see. Is this the key we all agree in? That key, Skip?
Yeah, that works for me.
If anybody's singing along, it's in 3 sharps.
Yeah. If you have a guitar, though, it's not an issue. So, my little cat Skip. When I met Charlie, and I rented out my house, and I came east, it worked out, so I sold the house. But I had 5 cats I had to find homes for, because I'm one of those people who collects cats. I did not choose to mother any children, but I'm really into mothering animals, and so I had these 5 cats. And I found homes for many of them, but one of them I had a hard time with. Skip was part feral. I had tamed her when she was about 3 months old. And I didn't think that it'd be easy to find her a home, so I thought, well, I'll take her with me. I'll take her on the airplane. And so I looked up Southwest Airplanes rules on flying an animal. And Skip was under 9 pounds, and that was part of the rule. Skip would fit under the seat, so that would be fine. I got Skip all her shots, so that would be fine. I got a cat carrier. I did everything but consult Skip. And Skip, when she was Skip's first even slight idea that this was going to happen was when the cat carrier appeared in the house, and she was put into it unhappily for an hour one day, which was our experiment on whether or not it would be a good idea to take Skip on the airplane. And at the end of it, we had, as Charlie would say,
Well, Cozy was doing her yoga during this time, and I think she felt that would calm Skip down, but Skip did not get calm, and Cozy doesn't. You don't want to interrupt her when she's doing her yoga. So, at the end of the hour, I had 2 feral animals in the house.
So that wasn't going to work for Skip. So I find a home for Skip. I actually ask my tenants if they'll feed her for a while, and this works for a little bit of time. But something happens, and Skip gets out, and I get a call in the winter. When I'm living in Maynard, Massachusetts, I get a call from one of my neighbors in Moab, Utah, saying, your little cat Skip, she's escaped. And the people who had her had moved, and she said, Skip's eating, she's living, eating out of the trash in the back street here. And I knew I had to find a home for Skip. But it's hard to find a home for a part feral cat in a town where everyone else is already feeding a part feral cat. So my emails went unanswered. And so one day I woke up and said, my songwriting is going to have to do a job today. It's going to have to make somebody want my cat. So this is entitled Skip the Cat Needs a Home. Skip needs a home. She's an independent girl. She had a rough start, and it's not a fair world. It's cold outside tonight, and she's out there on her own. I need to find her a home. Do you have a barn and roam in your heart? She'll move in if you give her some time. She has a good heart inside her, my little survivor. Three-legged cat in a four-legged world. Do you have a home for my little girl? 7 years ago, she appeared behind the shed in the neighbor's yard, sleeping under cover, the color of the autumn leaves, the size of my hand. And we don't know how it happened. It might have been a trap, or the mouth of a coyote got one foot on that cat. Somehow it happened, and somehow she's still alive. Skip knows how to survive. Do you have a barn and room in your heart? She'll move in if you give her some time. She has a good heart inside her, my little survivor. Three-legged cat in a four-legged world. Do you have a home for my little girl? Do you have a barn and room in your heart? She'll move in if you give her some time. She has a good heart inside her, my little survivor. Three-legged cat in a four-legged world. Do you have a home for my little girl? 'Cause she's still half wild and she's just part tame. And watch her run across the yard and you will understand her name. Do you have a barn and room in your heart? She'll move in if you give her some time. She has a good heart inside her, my little survivor. Three-legged cat in a four-legged world. Do you have a home for my little girl? Do you have a home for my little girl? Sorry, boys. That was interesting. I want you to know these guys have great game faces, because that song didn't go the way it was supposed to go. And we did all end at the same time, though.
Well, Skip didn't either, so it kind of makes sense.
That's true. By the way, Skip got a home. Let's play a dandelion. So the next day, so Eddie, I'm going to unplug this guitar and plug in the other one, okay? The next day, I got 3 offers on Skip. I put that up on YouTube the day I wrote it. And the next day, I got 3 offers on Skip. And she's still living at that house. And she's managed to learn how to climb trees. And they tell me she brings in birds. So she's not letting that missing leg in any way slow her down. She's kind of my, I think of her as my role model when I'm in a frightening situation, because Skip's a tiny little cat with 3 legs, and she knows she has to take the offensive. So if any cat ever came in the yard, Skip wouldn't wait to figure out if it was a nice cat. She would just take him on. Not that I do that, but I do like the idea of, I don't know why. That doesn't really work out well, but I try to do it in a calmer manner. What? Go for it, Charlie. Go for it. So Charlie was going to be on the muscle relaxants for the show, but we decided that wasn't a good idea because it
was relaxing me.
He's a little more loquacious when he's on the muscle relaxants. Let us consider the lettuce. It's not as healthy as they said. Like certain anxious dogs, It's a little overbred. They made it as sweet as they can. That's what sells at a produce stand. It turns out something bitter is better for you. Oh, the rabbits and the woodchucks have known this all along. They're not getting into your garbage, they are out there in your lawn. When the world feels like a deadly place, eat something we can't erase. You wanna survive, eat the dandelion. If you wanna make it up the hill, eat something we cannot kill. They wanna give you one more pill. Get down in the dirt, maybe you will find a trait you can admire, a living thing that won't expire. Times are dire, eat the dandelion. Oh, the world will come to get you in oh so many ways. Complicated chemicals rounding out your days. Kraft, Cheetos, stuff like that's gonna make us stupid and make us fat. And I'll tell you where your health is at. Go out and eat the yard. If you wanna make it up the hill, eat something we cannot kill. They wanna give you one more pill. Get down in the dirt, maybe you will find a trait you can admire, a living thing that won't expire. Times are dire, eat the dandelion. It's bitter, it's true, turns out bitter is better for you. If you wanna make it up the hill, eat something we cannot kill. They wanna give you one more pill. Get down in the dirt, maybe you will find a trait you can admire, a living thing that won't expire. Times are dire, eat the dandelion. Oh, times are dire, eat the dandelion. We're gonna do two more, and I used to say, and then we'll all meet at the brownies, but that's not what we're gonna do anymore. So let's map out our break, because we never had one like this before, have we? In other places that I know, people go outside so they can take their mask off and talk, and they do that. That's an option. Put your coat on. And do we have drinks in the back, Liz? We do, right? Oh, so there are drinks. Okay. So I've neglected one person. Can we have a hand for the man doing the live stream this evening? Mr. Brian Dozer. Let's have a hand for all the people watching the live stream. Yay! We don't know if there's anybody, but we'll hope. So Ken, let's do this the way we did it. So you're going to be in charge of playing kid.
Yep. Yep.
George. The song about the guy who's lost his memory. Oh, well, okay. When I was 5 years old and 6 years old, at family holidays, my grandfather would come play the piano in our house. We had a big old grand piano at the end of the dining room, and I was little, and I could lie under it, and my feet would fit in those, you know how the bottom of a piano, and my feet would fit right up into, so I could put my feet on the soundboard. And my grandfather was like the coolest person I'd ever seen. He played stride piano. And if you want to know what he looks like, actually Charlie is like a dead ringer for my grandfather. It's really interesting. A little bit spooky on the psychological level, but... I forgot, Ken, sorry. Everybody's forgetting. I'd like you to imagine it on stage. There's a man in a gray suit with a green tie. He's playing piano. Oh, Ken, I'm so lost. Come on, a little later. Okay, all right. I'll look at you and then you can. I'd like you to imagine that on stage is a man in a gray suit with a red tie. He's playing a piano. He's playing 76 trombones, Lead the Big Parade. And his grandchildren are marching around the room. It's Thanksgiving. And when my grandmother leaves the room, he sings you dirty verses to songs he learned in college. And this is where Ken comes in. Get out your old rubber bustle and get out and hustle, 'cause the rent is coming due. While you're out there making money, I'll be waiting for you, honey. If you can't get 5, take 2. Well, my grandfather used to play 76 trombones. And Miss Otis regrets on a piano on a flatbed truck all the way down Main Street with the color guard and the vets. My grandmother saved the picture. They ran in the paper. George and his ivories in the lead. 76 trombones lead the big parade. George and his 88 key. And Miss Otis regrets that George will be unable to lunch today. He's down the hall in his room with some childhood tune, and it will not get out of his way. There's a bird on the windowsill, or is that his old backyard? And the sparrow that once sat on his palm. 76 trombones lead the big parade, and George's head, now they all play different songs. And he wore a tulip, a sweet yellow tulip, and she wore a big red rose. And George wears what the nurse dresses him in. Now he can't understand his clothes. My grandmother comes to help him eat his lunch every day and sits with him through the long afternoons. 76 trombones lead the big parade, and love does not forget its tune. Sweet sound, let it come and abide with me. In the gathering dark, we'll play a song in F sharp. George taught himself on just the black keys. We'll play it by ear to call heaven near, where not one note has to sound alone. 76 trombones lead the big parade, and George all the way home. Thank you. Okay, we're going to take a little break. We'll be back. Kind of. Hold on. I gotta find my chord. Let's see. This is why the Indigo Girls have a roadie, so they can figure out where their guitar chord is. Okay, and Celine can't hear any of this. Poor Celine. Celine, I was just saying something about my roadie. Celine's at home in Rockport. I know that. How was your break? Good? Did you do okay shouting through your mask? Well, I want to thank you again for coming out to support us doing live music, and I want to thank everybody here at the Linden Tree. A lot of work went into having this show happen tonight, and I'd like to have a hand for all the volunteers. A lot of work went into this. They had to get it up and running after 2 years, and that was a lot. I watched the email chains, and there was like 13 to 15 people on those email chains, and they all had a job. Some of you here play guitar, right? You know when you're tuning and you're trying to tune it and something's happening, so you keep tuning things and nothing changes because you're tuning the wrong string? That's what happened while Liz was doing her. In a certain tree I will make my nest. You can write to me at this address. I will be there and then I'll be gone. No matter where we live, we all move on. Make me a raven's wing, and I will return in the spring when the desert is a beautiful thing. I will fly. Oh, how the pretty bird sings. Fly away. Oh, how the pretty birds sing. Join us. Fly away. If you want. I make it up. Do you know your neighbors? Do you know your town? Do they pick you up if you fall down? Do you grow best in a certain kind of ground? Do we get to keep every home we ever found? And oh, how the pretty bird sings. Fly away. Oh, how the pretty bird sings. Fly away. And I make it up as I go along. I make my way and I make my song. Make me a raven, I will fly home. Oh, how the pretty bird sings. Fly away. 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 Make me a raven, I will fly home. Thank you. Chris Bamer, Charlie Koch, Ken Allyn, we're back. Thank you very much. So when I was touring a lot, I had these little things called Kiss press-on nails. You ever seen them in CVS? You know, they make your hands impervious to problem. And during the pandemic, I decided I would stop using them. And in that song, I remembered, oh yeah, that was useful right then to have one of those nails. We've been doing this live stream, and you just play for half an hour, and you don't play very loud because you don't want to overwhelm the poor little microphone in the computer. And it's different than this. Way different than, you know, trying to drive something with your nail. Essentially, we're trying to drive this entire show with my fingernail. Chris, thanks for being here. No, you're staying.
I'm staying.
I'm actually just addressing you in like, you know,
welcome.
I'm like adding you into the conversation. I'm like putting out a little red tag that says, Chris, thanks for being here. And then I was going to say that we did, the three of us spent 2 weeks ago, 2 days in the studio recording Chris Bamer's album, which is a fabulous one. It's going to be coming out. She did a very good job. And as Kent once said, Chris's middle name is Tone. I like that. You say you want to make a living in the arts. Well, here's what it's all about. You put more money in than you take back out. Call the shots and do your soul a good turn. And just be sure you spend a little less than you earn. Be carefree, but don't be rash. As a general rule, always pay cash. Do what you love, all you gotta know. Keep your vision high, your overhead low. You wanna hear the song in your heart. You want space in your day. Time for your art. There's magic in the moment. The angle of the light. Let your vision soar. Keep your costs in sight. Beware of credit. Beware of debt. Of owning things you haven't paid for yet. But make sure you lend me a real good friend. And then no one has to spend. Don't knock it till you try it. If you can borrow, why buy it? You will hear this song in your heart. You'll have space in your day. Time for your art. There's magic in the moment. The angle of the light. Let your vision soar. Keep your costs inside. Take it, Ken. Let's review. If you have enough, do what you love, learn to love having less stuff. Call the shots, do your soul a good turn. Just be sure you spend a little less than you earn. Do what you love, all you gotta know. Keep your vision high, your overhead low. That was fun. Oh, that was fun. It's like sitting here in an engine. Thank you, Chris Bamer. We'll bring you back up. Oh, that was fun. Way fun. That's why we do it. For moments like that, way fun. Having that much music behind you is just, it's a total charge. So my friend Jonathan is here. And Jonathan and I met when we were 4 and I think 6, respectively. Actually, you're probably a lot younger than me than that. You were probably 4 and I was probably 10. Can't remember. Anyway, it's been a long time. And Jonathan and I, we have moms that were friends. And tomorrow is Mother's Day. And my mom is gone. And that does not work. Why doesn't that work? What am I doing wrong? That's why. My mom died in 2018. And I love my mom. And I sometimes used to visit Jonathan's mom after my mom was gone away and get a little extra mom hit because it's like, oh, you knew my mom, so I can hang out with this woman. She knew my mom. I remember her when I was a little kid, so she can be like a mom. So it's nice to have other moms you can find in the world. And then there's this song, which actually isn't really a Mother's Day song, but it's my mom's song. And when I say mom, I think about my friend Sloan Wainwright, who's not here, who if you tell her about your mom, something, she asks you, what's your mom's name? She wants to know tell her your mom's name. And it's a way of somebody saying, bring that woman back to life for me. I want to know about this woman who was important to you. I'm never going to meet her, but tell me about your mom. I'd say my mom's name was Ellen. She'd say, Ellen. And she'd repeat it back to me. And it like brought her back. So when Charlie and I started living together, my mom was still around, but she was not part of our living together. But she sort of showed up in a way that was sort of surprising. Charlie and I, we met halfway through the movie, if not more. And so we had both established domestic habits. And of these domestic habits, we were hoping that most of them would dovetail peacefully. And we were okay with the toothpaste. We did all right with the toothpaste. We did okay with the trash. We had trouble when we arrived at the kitchen sink. The kitchen sink was a little point of friction between us. Nobody was the bad person, but we came from different areas. Charlie raised 4 daughters. He's one of 10 children. And so rules around dish doing make a lot of sense. I've always been kind of a feral animal in the kitchen. Never had to worry about those sort of things. I could do them whenever I felt like. And it turns out my mom was actually in this conversation more than we knew. So every maybe 6 to 8 months, Charlie and I would have another discussion about the dishes. And it wouldn't usually end badly. It would end badly. And we would both retreat to our separate corners. And I would make just reams of journal entries about why it was that I was going to die on the hill of dishes. I was not going to change my position. I leave dishes in the sink. It bothers you a lot. It would be better if I did not leave dishes in the sink. I think we agree. The sink means one thing to you and another to me. I leave dishes in the sink. My mother was a housewife, trapped in a time that said, here is your life in dishes and cleaning. She found little meaning, but my mother stood at the sink. And you'd think our dishwasher could make this problem go away. But I remember my mother. Every day she would reach and bend, load and unload again. My mother stood at the sink, 'cause she was married to a man who was raised to think that what he did all day meant he didn't have to stand at the sink or the dustpan or the broom. My mother taught me every day, you clean one room. Sorry, Ken. And so I built myself a life with few dishes to do. 'Cause when I stand at the sink, it's like she's standing there too. And I fall on my knees and I praise the day that I can leave the sink and walk away. One dish, one room, one day after another, I leave dishes in the sink to rescue my mother. Thank you. I kept trying to give Ken his solo and my brain just wouldn't go to which chord is it. I'm so sorry, Ken. So when we put this show together, I just called Ken. I'm like, Sloan's sick. Can you do it with us? I'll send you a list of songs and we'll hope that the Vulcan mind meld works. So that's what you're observing is the Vulcan mind meld of Kent and I and Charlie, you know, just figuring out that this is probably where the song starts and let's hope we all end where it ends. Okay, song's a little dicey to play now. So I want to talk about the fact that we're about to play a song about a despot of history who is in history. But we have problems with despots right now. So I'd like to acknowledge that we have a despot problem. And my song is not addressing the serious problems of the despot, but it is everything you need to know about Napoleon. I was inspired to write this song because somebody told me that Napoleon said, if you say you're going to take Vienna, then you take Vienna. And it seemed like a kind of interesting statement, and I thought I would try to make a sing-along out of, if you say you're going to take Vienna, take Vienna. And I spent 10 years trying to make a song that you would sing, if you say you're going to take Vienna, take Vienna. And it really didn't work very well, so I gave that up. And the chorus to this actually showed up one day as I was making the bed. Who knows why? But the chorus to this is not very sing-alongable, but I decided instead I would sort of go more with the Gilbert and Sullivan route instead of, Richard Rodgers. What else do they need to know? Anything? Did I cover it?
What about
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, you have to know that the last verse was inspired by a New Yorker article about the fact that Napoleon's corpse, they say, they cut off the manly bits and they embalmed them. And the article in the New Yorker claimed that somebody has the embalmed parts in a box somewhere. And in fact, I'm told that on eBay, that person is trying to sell them. I will sing of an early French export, Napoleon and his empire. Both were short. Before the Louvre or Catherine Deneuve, there was the manna. He said, I will take Vienna. We sing Waterloo, the guillotine. The Empress Josephine, the little man has a dream. Goes and gets a big machine, then Wellington comes on the scene. As a better sailing team, sends our little fiend off to Elba. He took Italy and Spain and Prussia, which is Germany and Poland now, but it sounds like Russia. You won't find Prussia on a map of Europe anymore. It was an empire that failed. What should we learn about it? For we sing Waterloo, the guillotine. The Empress Josephine, the little man has a dream. Goes and gets a big machine, then Wellington comes on the scene. Has a better sailing team, sends our little fiend off to Elba. He knew how to set a goal and say, I think I can, which doesn't sound French. But he was Corsican, so when you lose the game, don't sit on the bench. Napoleon ruled France, he wasn't even French. Awesome kid. Kid Allyn. In his coffin, inside his French cut suit, his body, they say it's missing the manly root. It was embalmed, we could stick it back on, but who could tell? 'Cause by now the rest of him is missing as well. We sing Waterloo, the guillotine. The Empress Josephine, the little man has a dream. Goes and gets a big machine, then Wellington comes on the scene. Has a better sailing team, sends our little fiend off to Elba. Sends our little fiend off to Elba. Everybody, sends our little fiend off to Elba. All right, I'm gonna try something here. You can just sit down, Charlie.
Okay.
Um,
You're going to do the Ukraine?
Yeah. Because doing that song at some level is ignoring realities. And the lyrics take on a very different meaning when you're sitting in May 2022. This is not really a song that I've worked out a lot, but I wrote it for my live stream because I just wanted to be able to sing what I was feeling. What if it happened here? How is your morning? Does a bird sing somewhere out of sight? What if your house was gone? If fire had rained upon your neighborhood last night? And would you pray? And where is your sister? What if a bomb fell on her train? Would you dream about moonlight on the water? Would you long for your home, Ukraine? And what if it happened here? Where are your photos and your grandfather's chair in this quiet home that has never known bombs falling out of the air? And what if you were standing in the rubble? And what if rubble was all that remained? Would you dream about moonlight on the water? Would you long for your home, Ukraine? Thank you. Thank you. I meant to play this in the first set, but actually I think it fits quite well here. Sorry, Celine didn't hear that. I meant to play this in the first set, but I'm going to play it now. You know, I have said, can you hear me when I bellow off the mic for 25 years, just assuming, of course they can. And the live stream does bring to mind that doesn't happen. So let's just talk about this solo, because I stomped all over your solo. So it comes after the second chorus, and it's a chorus. We all agree on that?
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, good. So I come to stay at Charlie's house in 2014, I believe, and the house next door in Maynard, Massachusetts is empty. And the house remains empty for the first 6 to 8 months that I am staying with him at his house, or I guess I've moved there by then. And you know, when a house next to you is empty, you start to think of that yard as your yard, and that driveway as your driveway, because nothing's ever in it. And if a car appears in that driveway, it feels like someone has invaded your territory. And I'm on the road one time, and I call Charlie up, and he says, you know, people are looking at renting that house next door. I say, oh, really? He says, yes. They're each divorced, and they've just gotten together as a couple, and between them they have 5 teenagers. I said, wow. Remember that fence that I thought we should put up? We'd have to do it now. We can't do it once they've moved in. So we put up a fence. And this very nice couple moves in. Very nice. And we go over to meet them, and there's a fence there that wasn't there when they were looking at the house. And I wonder where the fence came from. Maybe it's from the nice lady coming over to say hello around the fence. So we try to get to know each other, and we do a pretty good job, although we're all a little bit introverted, and I've inserted a fence into the relationship, which is difficult. But I learn a lot about them by sitting in my upstairs window in my bedroom, looking out over the fence that I can watch them in their yard, just like Mrs. Kravitz in Bewitched. And what I learned is that these are really nice people, and so I really want to get to know them even more now, but still I have inserted the fence into our relationship, remember that. And things go along kind of slowly. We do slowly get to know them. But not enough that when in February 2017, after the inauguration, when the world has felt like all of a sudden it's changed dramatically, I don't know this woman well enough to go knock on her door and say, can we have a cup of coffee? Because I just feel overwhelmed. And I really wish that I did. When the neighbors first moved in, I am the one who built the fence. I am the kind who can hold out her hand. If I know my We are living in interesting times, and the sky falls every day. And I used to think my fence could make the world go away. But this morning all I know is I wanna fall down and cry. And this morning I don't need my fence, I need my neighbor on the other side. I've seen my neighbor with her children in the morning. She's driving them to school. And I've seen her play a game in the driveway. She knows how to set and bend a rule. And I don't know much about her, but I dropped in and we talked at her store. And each time I come away wanting to know a little bit more. And this morning all I know is I wanna fall down and cry. This morning I don't need my fence, I need my neighbor on the other side. I'm not the first one to a protest, and I am the last one with a sign. And I mostly wanna be left in peace to make my pretty designs. And I don't know from trade agreements, I don't understand all I hear. But I wasn't certain when the neighbors moved in, and now I am glad they are here. And this morning all I know is I wanna fall down and cry. And this morning I don't need my fence, I need my neighbor on the other side. Chris, will you come back up? Thank you very much. This is really fun. We're going to play a few more songs, just to let you know. But I wanted to let you know when, there's a fine line between a concert where you get your money's worth and one that never ends. So I want to make sure that we don't err on that side. And we've lost our sitting muscles in the pandemic of sitting in a concert. We're used to sitting and be able to get up whenever you want and leave. So I just want to let you know the things that have become scattered about the plane, you could start thinking about collecting them now. You don't have to put your tray tables up yet, but... and we didn't talk about this one at all. Chris, did I even tell you that we might do Rise Out of the Water? Did I warn you about that one? Oh, good. We like playing this one together, and we're rarely together as four, so we're going to try it. There might be some road construction somewhere in the middle of the song, but let's hope not. That's not the plan. This is written as a letter from Arthur to Guinevere, telling her that he understands why she left, and it's okay. I was looking for a myth of divorce that was somewhat peaceful, and there aren't a lot of them. If you look at the Greek myths, they kill each other. They stab each other with tritons. They throw each other out of Olympus. It's just not. So I had to go to the Arthur myths to look for one. Wish I could remember how this starts right now. Let's think. Things got complicated and things got hard when someone pitched a tent in our backyard. The good went bad, the bad This did not end the way I thought it would. And no one was wrong, no one was right, no one was sleeping too well at night. Up in the tower, the queen is crying. Someone has to say the kingdom is dying. Rise out of the water, I will believe in the cup of human kindness. There are reasons to leave. See what comes over the castle wall. We rise and we rise and we fall. Sometime we find the kingdom renewed. Can you hear Guinevere? What I am telling you. Rise out of the water, I will believe in the cup of human kindness. There are reasons to leave. The lady of the lake held a sword in her hand. She rose out of the water and said, if you do this right, you can go down in darkness or go down in light. And it is not explained, but it might be revealed. The kingdom falls, the kingdom is healed. Rise out of the water, I will believe in the cup of human kindness. There are reasons to leave. Oh, rise out of the water, I will believe in the cup of human kindness. There are reasons to leave.
I feel like we ought to have one of the reasons to leave.
Thank you, Chris Baber, for joining us. Okay.
Thank you, Chris.
Two more songs have to happen. One is the second to last song, and one is the last song, okay? And if you want a third one, you have to make a fuss about it. But this is what's going to be the second to last and the last song. And one of them we haven't done yet, and I'm determined that we do multiple years.
Oh, we gotta do it.
So Charlie gets to sit for a minute. And I get to be the chanteuse for just a second.
Is this a point where we get to use one of those excellent vocabulary words like penultimate? Could we pull that one out?
I think we could.
Okay.
Wait a minute, you gotta get ahead of me here.
So when I lived in Utah, I had to have a lot of house sitters because I had all those cats. And I had this house sitter named Juliet. And one year, Juliet, when she moved out, Juliet was about 22. And every time she showed up to house sit for me, she would have a new piece of jewelry embedded about her person somewhere. Or a new tattoo. One time she had this amazing moon right here on her breastbone. I remember thinking, oh, I'd love one of those. But I didn't look like Juliet, and I was considerably older than Juliet. And one time, Juliet left her nose ring on the back of the toilet when she left one year. And I was looking at the nose ring and thinking, would I look like Juliet if I inserted the nose ring anywhere about my person? If for any reason you've ever had these thoughts yourself, and you thought that maybe you would also get pierced or tattooed, and you also, like me, decided that this is not the lifetime in which you will experience this. Perhaps another one, but not this lifetime. I am your mascot. And this is your fight song. Some people look sexy and fierce when they are multiply pierced. I must be getting too old. Oh, how could I get that in and out of my nose? Some people can look nice without metallic device coming out of their face in an unusual place, and there are problems but gravity could be sad. The wrinkles really won't add. These are thoughts I've entertained while considering being ritually maimed. And it takes poise and a blow and a very taut abdomen. And why put an earring in a navel that's disappearing into a comfortable repose? If you have to dig for it in the folds when you bend over or sit down, it's 3 inches in and 2 more down. You might not look erotic or fierce if you were multiply pierced. Thank you. All right, I'm happy. All right, now we'll play the last song. Thank you. That was fun. You love Life You Made. All right. So once again, I would like to thank Liz Freeman and all of her people, Eddie over there on the sound, Brian here on the live stream, Steve in the back on the CDs, everybody here. I'd like to thank all of our wonderful volunteers for helping tonight and making it possible. And we'd like to thank you for coming. I didn't tell her about it, no. Okay. Yeah, okay. And I had something I was going to say, but Charlie whispered in my ear. It's now utterly gone. I can't
Sorry. I thought you might have forgotten.
Now I have. We would now like to model a healthy couple. I was in couples therapy with a different person, not Charlie, but I was taught about the pot in between you. And anything that either of you say falls into the pot. And the other person has the choice of whether or not to take that particular statement out of the pot. The problem was that my partner didn't believe in the pot. I don't know if Charlie would go for the pot either. I'm not sure it would be a big hit.
As long as it wasn't left in the sink, I think it would be
That's
fine.
good point. Good kid. Oh.
Oh, okay.
Smash the dishes in the kitchen and the altar in the cage. And why not have a life that gets up off the page? Open up your mouth, sing your most fervent hope. How much of your life will you stuff down your throat? Everything unravels. Everything will fade. Do you love the life you made? It's a risk and a leap and then a hole in the net. It is a miracle you have not given up yet. It seems to reward arrogant fools. It blows up in your face, doesn't follow the rules. Everything unravels. Everything will fade. Do you love the life you made? Do you need a moment of rest? 1, 2, 3, 4. The very fine Kent Allyn. Oh, tension holds you upright. Tension drives this song. All you do right, it meets all you do wrong. All the ways you can die and the ways you can live. The one wrong move, it's a lot to forgive. Everything unravels. Everything you wait. Thank you. That's very nice. We weren't sure what to do about this one, but we have a song. I forgot to plug in on the last one, Eddie. I'm sorry. I'm sure you were turning it up and it wasn't responding. We're going to be in C. This is the first song I ever wrote that I still play. I had totaled my mother's car on Route 4, driving from Concord, New Hampshire to Portsmouth in a snowstorm. And my mother was on vacation in the Okefenokee Swamp when this happened. And I was really missing her, although I knew she'd be upset about the car. And so I conjured her up there in my kitchen. My mother's hands put 4 young heads to sleep night after night. The story's been read and the prayers have been said. She'll sing when she turns out the light. That I know where I'm going. Turn around, turn around, turn around. There's a long, long trail a-winding to where I lay me down. There was a velveteen rabbit and Winnie the Pooh. In summer I go to sleep by light. Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors, and God be with you all through the night. And yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow with Noah and all in his ark, I fear no evil, but leave on the hall light, 'cause I'm still afraid of the dark. And I know where I'm going. Turn around, turn around, turn around. There's a long, long trail a-winding to where I lay me down. There are days when life is a struggle, and there are days to surrender the fight. I can read my own stories and say my own prayers, and even turn out the light. But if I found a lantern and one wish were mine, I think I know what it would be. It would not be fame, it would not be wealth, just my mother to sing me to sleep. And I know where I'm going. Turn around, turn around, turn around. There's a long, long trail a-winding to where I lay me down. Thank you all very much. Drive safely. Good night.